Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you today that you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You don't have to chase people, explain yourself, or seek validation from those who don't see your worth. God has already placed everything you need inside of you. The more you focus on yourself, on your growth, on your purpose, the more you will rise. There will always be distractions, people trying to pull you into drama, opinions that don't align with your destiny. But sometimes the best response is silence. When you stay quiet and keep moving forward, you allow God to fight battles for you. You don't have to waste energy on negativity. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and watch how doors open in ways you never expected. I believe that as you commit to focusing on yourself and walking in peace, God is going to elevate you, strengthen you, and lead you into greater things. So let's dive into today. Let's talk about how to focus on yourself and stay silent. Your energy is one of the most valuable assets you have. It determines how you feel, how you think, and ultimately how you live your life. Yet so many people give it away freely to things that don't serve them. Negative conversations, meaningless arguments, toxic relationships, and distractions that pull them away from their goals. When you allow external forces to dictate your emotions, you lose control over your own inner peace. Protecting your energy means being intentional about where you invest your time and emotions. It requires understanding that not everything and everyone is worthy of your attention. There are people who thrive on draining others. They pull you into unnecessary drama, complain endlessly, and always focus on the negative. When you engage with them, you absorb their energy. Over time, this negativity seeps into your mindset, affecting your motivation and clarity. Instead of pouring your energy into self-growth, you find yourself emotionally exhausted, mentally drained, and spiritually disconnected. To truly move forward, you have to learn to identify these energy drainers and set boundaries. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself to not let negativity consume you. Social media has made it even harder to protect our energy. The endless scrolling, the constant comparisons, and the flood of opinions can easily shift your focus from what matters. Every time you react to negativity online, argue with strangers, or let someone else's post affect your mood, you are giving away your power. You don't need to respond to everything. You don't need to prove anything. The more you engage with distractions, the less energy you have for the things that actually matter in your life. Protecting your energy means being mindful of what you consume, both physically and mentally. One of the biggest energy leaks people experience comes from trying to please everyone. You cannot be everything to everyone and still have enough left for yourself. When you constantly seek approval, you give people the power to control your emotions. Their opinions begin to shape your self-worth, and their validation becomes your source of confidence. The truth is, no matter what you do, there will always be someone who disapproves, criticizes, or misunderstands you. That's why protecting your energy means detaching from the need for approval. You have to decide that your peace and happiness are more important than what others think of you. Another way people lose energy is by holding on to past pain. Replaying old conversations, holding grudges, and reliving painful moments keep you stuck in a cycle of emotional exhaustion. The more you dwell on the past, the less energy you have for the present. Protecting your energy means letting go, not for them, but for you. When you release what no longer serves you, you create space for peace, clarity, and growth. Forgiveness is not about excusing what happened. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of it. Protecting your energy also requires being mindful of the company you keep. The people you spend the most time with influence your mindset, your habits, and your outlook on life. If you're constantly around people who complain, gossip, and make excuses, that energy will rub off on you. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who are focused, driven, and positive, their energy will uplift you. Be intentional about who you allow into your space. Not everyone deserves access to you. Your time, your mind, and your heart are sacred. Self-care is another essential part of protecting your energy. If you are constantly pouring into others without replenishing yourself, you will eventually feel drained. Taking care of your mental, emotional, and physical health is not selfish, it's necessary. That means setting aside time to rest, doing things that bring you joy, and prioritizing your well-being. When you are operating from a place of balance, you are less likely to be affected by external negativity. Emotional intelligence plays a key role in energy protection. Not every situation requires a reaction. When you allow people to provoke you, you give them control over your emotions. Learning to walk away, to not take things personally, and to stay focused on what truly matters is a form of power. When you master the ability to protect your peace, you no longer waste energy on things that do not contribute to your growth. Your thoughts are another major source of energy consumption. Negative self-talk, doubt, and fear drain you more than any outside force ever could. Protecting your energy means being aware of your internal dialogue and shifting it towards something empowering. The way you speak to yourself determines your confidence, your motivation, and your ability to overcome challenges. When you replace self-doubt with self-belief, you conserve your energy for taking action instead of questioning yourself. Distractions will always be there. People will always have something to say. Challenges will always arise. But when you protect your energy, you become unshakable. You become intentional about what you engage with, who you allow into your space, and where you invest your time. You no longer waste energy proving yourself, arguing, or stressing over things you cannot control. Instead, you channel that energy into building, growing, and becoming the best version of yourself. Silence is one of the most powerful tools you can use in life. In a world where everyone feels the need to respond, to explain, to defend, and to prove themselves, silence sets you apart. It allows you to maintain control over your emotions, protect your energy, and move with wisdom instead of impulse. Many people react instantly to negativity, giving their power away to situations and people that do not deserve it. The moment you react emotionally, you let others dictate your state of mind. But when you remain silent, you maintain control. You send a message that you are not easily swayed, that you are disciplined, and that you refuse to let outside forces dictate your peace. There will always be people who provoke you, who try to push your buttons, who want to see you lose your composure. They feed off drama, off reactions, off emotional outbursts. The more you engage, the more you fuel them. When you choose silence instead of reacting, you frustrate them. You remove their power over you. You show that you are unbothered, unaffected, and too focused on your purpose to be distracted by meaningless conflict. Silence is not weakness, it is control. It is strength. It is the ability to walk away from nonsense and stay focused on what truly matters. People often mistake silence for a lack of response, but in reality, silence is a response. It speaks volumes without a single word being said. When someone disrespects you and you say nothing, it shows that you refuse to entertain negativity. When someone expects an argument and you remain calm, it proves that you are disciplined. When someone tries to bring you into their drama and you ignore it, it shows that you are in control of your own energy. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every insult requires a reaction. Not every situation deserves your attention. Silence also gives you clarity. When you are constantly speaking, reacting, or defending yourself, you leave no room to observe, reflect, and process things from a higher perspective. But when you stay silent, you allow yourself to think. You start noticing things others miss. You see people's true intentions. You understand situations more deeply, and you make better decisions. People who speak too much often reveal too much. They expose their weaknesses, their emotions, their plans. But those who remain silent keep their power. They move strategically. They do not reveal their next steps. They let their actions do the talking. In professional settings, silence is just as powerful. The person who talks the most is not always the smartest or the most capable. Often it is the one who listens, who observes, who speaks only when necessary that commands the most respect. When you are silent, people pay attention when you do speak. Your words carry more weight. You are not just talking to fill space. You are speaking with purpose. Those who constantly seek to be heard often lose credibility because their words become noise. But those who choose their words wisely are seen as thoughtful, intelligent, and composed. Social media has made it even harder for people to practice silence. Everyone feels the need to comment, to respond to negativity, to prove themselves online. But true confidence does not need validation. It does not seek approval. It does not need to defend itself against every opinion. Silence in the digital age is a rare strength. It shows that you are secure in yourself, that you do not need to be part of every conversation, that you value your peace more than temporary satisfaction. Not every insult needs a reply. Not every opinion needs to be corrected. Not every challenge requires a response. In relationships, silence can be a form of power as well. When people mistreat you, when they take you for granted, when they fail to appreciate you, the best response is often silence. Arguing, begging, explaining, these things only lower your value. But when you pull back, when you stop engaging, when you allow your absence to be felt, people start to realize your worth. Silence forces others to reflect on their action. It makes them question why you are no longer available, why you are no longer giving them energy. Instead of chasing, you become the one who is pursued. Instead of proving yourself, you let your value speak for itself. Many of the greatest leaders in history understood the power of silence. They did not react impulsively. They did not engage in meaningless conflicts. They did not waste words on those who would not listen. They moved in silence. They acted with wisdom. They let their results speak louder than any argument ever could. When you understand the power of silence, you stop wasting time on things that do not matter. You stop explaining yourself to people who will never understand you. You stop defending yourself against those who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop engaging in battles that do not lead anywhere. When you master silence, you master yourself. You learn patience. You learn control. You learn that true power is not in how loud you are, but in how little you let the noise of the world affect you. The strongest people are not the ones who react to everything. They are the ones who stay calm, stay focused, and move with purpose. They understand that silence is not just the absence of words, it is the presence of strength, discipline, and unshakable self-control. Focusing on yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. In a world that constantly demands your attention, your energy, and your time, it is easy to get lost in the expectations and needs of others. People will always have opinions about what you should be doing, how you should be living, and what choices you should make. But at the end of the day, you are the one who has to live with the results of your decision. When you start focusing on yourself, you take back control over your life. You stop letting distractions pull you away from your purpose, and you begin to build the life you truly desire. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to focus on themselves is because they are too concerned with what others think. They seek validation from family, friends, and even strangers. They let the fear of judgment hold them back from taking action. But the truth is, most people are too focused on their own lives to be thinking about yours. The ones who criticize you are often the ones who are not doing anything meaningful themselves. When you focus on yourself, you stop needing approval, you stop explaining your choices, you stop allowing the opinions of others to dictate your path. You trust yourself. You make decisions based on what is right for you, not based on what others expect. Distractions come in many forms. Social media, negative people, unhealthy habits, and unnecessary drama all steal time and energy that could be used for your personal growth. Every moment spent worrying about someone else's life is a moment taken away from improving your own. People who succeed are not the ones constantly checking what others are doing. They are the ones focused on their own journey. They are reading, learning, working, and improving every single day. When you make yourself a priority, you start seeing progress in ways you never imagined. There will always be people who try to pull you away from your focus. They might guilt trip you, make you feel selfish, or act like you owe them your time and energy. But you do not owe anyone access to your life. You do not owe anyone explanations for your choices. The people who truly support you will understand that your growth requires focus and discipline. They will respect your boundaries. The ones who try to make you feel bad for focusing on yourself are often the ones who benefit from your lack of focus. They want you distracted so they can keep you at their level. But when you shift your focus inward, you start to see who is truly there for you and who is just using you for their own benefit. Success is not built on distractions. It is built on consistency, self-discipline, and an unshakable focus on your goals. The most successful people in the world did not get there by wasting time on things that did not serve them. They learned to say no to distractions. They learned to prioritize their goals. They learned that focusing on themselves was the key to achieving everything they wanted. If you want to change your life, you have to start making yourself a priority. You have to stop letting temporary distractions pull you away from permanent success. The problem is many people want results without putting in the effort. They want success, but do not want to sacrifice distractions. They want growth, but do not want to let go of the things that are holding them back. But real change requires discipline. It requires making hard choices. It requires removing yourself from situations that no longer align with your future. Focusing on yourself means cutting off bad habits, distancing yourself from negative influences, and committing to your personal development. It means waking up every day with the intention of becoming better than you were yesterday. There is nothing wrong with taking time for yourself. There is nothing wrong with stepping away from people and situations that drain your energy. There is nothing wrong with saying no to things that do not align with your vision. People might not understand it at first, but that is not your problem. You are not here to live for them. You are here to fulfill your purpose, to grow, to evolve, and to become the best version of yourself. The ones who truly care about you will support your journey. The ones who do not will eventually fade away, and that is okay. The moment you decide to focus on yourself, everything changes. Your energy shifts, your mindset improves, your confidence grows. You stop looking for validation. You stop allowing unnecessary distractions to control your life. You become more intentional with your time, your actions, and your decisions. You start attracting opportunities that align with your growth. You start seeing progress in ways you never thought possible. The more you focus on yourself, the stronger you become. The stronger you become, the closer you get to the life you truly deserve. People often underestimate the power of moving in silence. In a world where everyone wants to broadcast their every move, keeping your plans, goals, and progress to yourself gives you a unique advantage. The more you talk about what you are going to do, the more energy you waste explaining instead of executing. When you keep things to yourself, you maintain control over your path. You do not allow the opinions, doubts, or negativity of others to interfere with your progress. Many people announce their dreams before they have even taken the first step. They seek validation, hoping for encouragement, but what they often receive is doubt, criticism, or even jealousy. Some people do not want to see you win. They pretend to support you, but secretly they hope you fail. When you move in silence, you do not give them the opportunity to plant doubt in your mind. You do not allow their words to shake your confidence. You keep your plans protected, allowing them to grow without interference. Talking about your goals can create a false sense of accomplishment. When you share your ambitions with others, your brain releases the same satisfaction as if you have already achieved them. This can make you feel less motivated to actually put in the work. Successful people understand that results speak louder than words. They do not waste time trying to impress others with what they are going to do. They focus on doing it. They let their actions speak for them. There is a reason why the most powerful and successful individuals do not reveal everything they are working on. They know that keeping things private allows them to stay focused. It prevents unnecessary distractions. It keeps them from being influenced by negativity or outside pressure. When you move in silence, you eliminate the noise. You create a space where you can work on yourself without interference. You do not have to explain your progress to anyone. You do not have to prove yourself. You simply work, improve, and let the results speak for themselves. When you announce your moves too soon, you invite unnecessary competition. People start watching your every step, looking for ways to copy or even sabotage you. But when you stay quiet, they have no idea what you are up to. They cannot interfere with your progress because they do not know what you are building. They cannot block your blessings because they do not even see them coming. Moving in silence keeps you ahead. It keeps you unpredictable. It allows you to make progress without interference. Silence is also a form of power. The less people know about you, the more they have to guess. They cannot manipulate what they do not understand. They cannot attack what they cannot see. When you are always talking, you give away too much information. You reveal your weaknesses, your fears, and your next steps. But when you remain silent, you control the narrative. You control what people know and what they do not. You move strategically instead of emotional. Many people feel the need to prove themselves, to show the world what they are doing, to seek approval. But true confidence does not need an audience. It does not need validation. It does not need constant reassurance. The most confident individuals do not talk about what they are doing. They just do it. They know that success is not about impressing others, but about staying focused and disciplined. They understand that their energy is best used in action, not in conversation. There is something powerful about letting people see your results instead of hearing your plans. When you move in silence, you avoid unnecessary explanations. You do not waste time convincing others of your vision. You do not allow negativity to slow you down. Instead, you stay focused, work hard, and when the time is right, your success speaks for itself. The people who doubted you, who questioned you, who tried to bring you down will have no choice but to acknowledge what you have built. Moving in silence also teaches patience. It forces you to trust the process instead of seeking immediate recognition. It allows you to work without pressure, without distractions, without the need for constant validation. It helps you develop discipline, resilience, and a mindset that is focused on long-term success rather than short-term approval. The strongest individuals are not the ones who talk the most. They are the ones who work the hardest. They understand that results matter more than words. They let their actions do the talking. They let their success be their response. When you focus on yourself and stay silent, you begin to recognize the power of discipline. Discipline is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who only dream about them. It is the ability to stay committed to your path no matter how difficult or tempting it may be to stray. Many people want success, happiness, and a better life, but very few are willing to put in the work consistently. They start strong, but when challenges arise, they look for distractions or excuses. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward, even when motivation fades, even when obstacles appear, and even when no one is watching. When you develop discipline, you learn to control your emotions, actions, and habits. You no longer allow temporary feelings to dictate your long-term progress. There will be days when you do not feel like working, training, studying, or pushing yourself, but discipline ensures you do it anyway. The most successful people in the world are not always the most talented or the smartest. They are simply the most disciplined. They do not allow laziness, distractions, or the opinions of others to interfere with their progress. They understand that every small action adds up, and every decision they make shapes their future. Many people struggle to stay disciplined because they are too focused on immediate gratification. They want results now without putting in the effort. They want success without sacrifice. But real growth does not happen overnight. It is built through small, consistent actions repeated daily. When you commit to a goal and stay disciplined, you create momentum. You build habits that make success inevitable. It may not always be exciting, but it is effective. The more disciplined you become, the easier it is to make the right choices because they become a part of who you are. Discipline also means making sacrifices. You cannot expect to grow while holding on to old habits that do not serve you. You cannot expect to succeed while spending your time and energy on things that do not contribute to your goals. This is why so many people fail. They are unwilling to give up temporary pleasures for long-term success. They spend hours scrolling through social media, wasting time with the wrong people, indulging in habits that drain them, and then wonder why they are not making progress. Discipline requires you to cut off anything that is holding you back. It forces you to evaluate your daily habits and ask yourself, is this helping me or hurting me? The truth is, most people already know what they need to do to improve their lives, but they lack the discipline to do it. They know they should wake up earlier, work harder, read more, eat healthier, train their minds and bodies, but knowing is not enough. Action is what separates success from failure. The more disciplined you become, the more control you have over your life. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop allowing your emotions to dictate your decisions. You simply do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. When you develop discipline, you gain an advantage over everyone who's ruled by their emotions. You are no longer controlled by laziness, doubt, or fear. You become the type of person who gets things done no matter what. People may not understand your commitment. They may call you obsessed, too serious, or too focused, but that is only because they do not have the same level of discipline. They do not understand what it takes to achieve greatness, but that is not your problem. Your job is not to make them understand. It is to stay disciplined and prove them wrong through your results. Discipline also builds confidence. The more you keep the promises you make to yourself, the more you trust yourself. You no longer seek validation from others because you know you are doing the right things. You know that every sacrifice, every effort, and every disciplined decision is bringing you closer to your goals. Confidence does not come from what you say you will do. It comes from what you actually do. When you consistently show up for yourself, your self-belief strengthens. You start seeing yourself as someone who follows through, who is unstoppable, who is willing to do whatever it takes to win. Staying disciplined requires you to eliminate distractions. The people who lack discipline often surround themselves with negativity, drama, and unnecessary noise. They get caught up in gossip, arguments, and meaningless conversations that add no value to their lives. But when you focus on yourself, you do not have time for any of that. You are too busy improving, learning, working, and growing. You understand that every minute wasted is a minute that could have been spent building your future. When you commit to a life of discipline, you separate yourself from the majority. You become different. You move differently. You think differently. And because of that, you achieve things that others only dream about. The world does not reward those who take shortcuts, those who quit when things get hard, or those who make excuses. The world rewards those who show up every single day, who stay consistent, who do the work even when no one is watching. That is the power of discipline. It is not about being perfect. It is about being relentless in your pursuit of greatness. When you focus on yourself and stay silent, you begin to understand the value of protecting your energy. Your energy is one of your most valuable resources, yet most people waste it on things that do not serve them. They allow distractions, negativity, and unnecessary conflicts to drain them, leaving them with little energy to invest in their goals and self-improvement. Protecting your energy means being intentional about where you direct your focus, who you surround yourself with, and what you allow into your mind. It requires self-awareness, discipline, and the ability to set boundaries that prevent unnecessary stress and setbacks. Many people give away their energy without even realizing it. They engage in pointless arguments, entertain toxic relationships, and allow other people's negativity to affect their mindset. They spend hours on social media comparing their lives to others, feeling frustrated or unworthy instead of focusing on their own progress. Protecting your energy means recognizing that not everything deserves your attention. It means refusing to let external factors control your emotions. When you focus on yourself, you become more selective about what you consume, who you listen to, and where you invest your time. You start choosing peace over chaos, growth over comfort, and progress over distractions. One of the biggest ways people lose their energy is by trying to control things that are out of their hands. They waste time worrying about what others think of them, stressing over things they cannot change, or trying to fix people who do not want to be fixed. This constant need to seek approval, prove themselves, or change others drains them mentally, emotionally, and physically. Protecting your energy means accepting that some things are beyond your control and focusing only on what you can change. Your actions, your mindset, your growth, and your response to situations. Another major drain on energy is surrounding yourself with the wrong people. The people in your life either add to your energy or take from it. Some people uplift, inspire, and push you toward your goals, while others drain, distract, and discourage you. It is crucial to be mindful of who you allow into your space. Negative people will always find a way to complain, gossip, or bring drama into your life, and if you're not careful, their energy will start affecting you. Protecting your energy means setting boundaries and distancing yourself from those who do not align with your growth. It means choosing relationships that support your journey rather than sabotage it. Another way to protect your energy is by limiting the amount of negativity you consume daily. Many people start their day by scrolling through social media, watching the news, or engaging in conversations that fill their minds with stress and negativity. What you consume affects how you think, feel, and act. If you constantly expose yourself to fear, gossip, or distractions, it will be difficult to maintain a strong mindset. Protecting your energy means being intentional about what you allow into your mind. It means filling your mind with positive, uplifting, and empowering content that keeps you focused and motivated. Mental energy is just as important as physical energy. When your mind is constantly overwhelmed with unnecessary thoughts, worries, or distractions, you feel exhausted even before you start your day. This is why it is essential to practice mindfulness, self-reflection, and mental clarity. Taking time to be alone, to think, to plan, and to disconnect from the noise of the world allows you to regain control over your thoughts. It helps you stay clear about your goals, your vision, and your purpose. When your mind is at peace, your energy is stronger. You are able to focus on what truly matters without being pulled in different directions. Your energy is also affected by your habits and lifestyle choices. What you eat, how you sleep, how often you exercise, and how you manage stress all play a role in your overall energy levels. Many people feel drained not because they are overworked, but because they have poor habits that deplete their energy. They eat unhealthy foods that make them sluggish, stay up late and wake up tired, or engage in habits that lower their motivation and productivity. Protecting your energy means taking care of your body, getting enough rest, staying active, and fueling yourself with things that keep you strong and energized. Learning to say no is another crucial part of protecting your energy. Many people feel obligated to say yes to everything, helping others, attending events, engaging in conversations they do not want to be a part of because they fear disappointing people. But every time you say yes to something that drains you, you are saying no to yourself. You are giving away your energy to things that do not align with your goals or values. Protecting your energy means having the strength to say no without guilt. It means prioritizing yourself and recognizing that not every request, opportunity, or invitation deserves your time and attention. When you protect your energy, you become more focused, more productive, and more at peace. You no longer waste time on things that do not matter. You stop allowing negativity to distract you. You take full control of your life, your mindset, and your emotions. Instead of constantly feeling drained, you feel empowered. Instead of reacting to everything around you, you stay grounded in your own purpose. Instead of trying to please everyone, you choose yourself. That is the power of protecting your energy. It allows you to stay strong, stay focused, and move forward without unnecessary distractions pulling you back.